Today, I will be busting every myth with the new glider ability in Stumble, guys. Starting with, what happens if you use the glider and then someone hugs onto you? Will that player start gliding with you? Now, this is one of the best myths I have ever seen in my entire life, so shout out to this guy. We have Virus here. You can go sub to him in the description down below, but let's see if this myth is going to work. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna run towards Virus. He's gonna try and hug me midair, and there we go. So that myth is kind of busted because you do not follow along with the player. He just grabs me right out of the air. So we have to say that myth is busted. Good idea from GoDS, but let's move into the next myth that we have. We have some crazy myths with this emote. It's one of the best emotes ever. For the next myth, Happy Michael asked, can you phase with it in block dash? Now, I have no idea how this would work, and this is kind of weird because once you go out the wall, you're just going at that same slow speed that you have. Even if I dive like this and then glide, I'm just not going to be able to go through the wall. And this is going to be my last attempt right here. Let's see if you can phase with it. Yeah, bro, that is not going to happen. You do not have enough momentum to phase with the glider, so that myth is busted. Okay, for the next myth, Valor asked, what happens if you get punched while using the glider ability? We are going to test it out right here, so I'm going to start gliding, and then Virus is going to punch me midair. And Virus, if you can even do a super punch midair, that would be even better. Let's see. One, and oh, he missed. Okay, we'll try again. All right, next attempt. 3, 2, 1, go. And there we go. So that means you can super punch someone midair while gliding. That's a good counter to the glide. But while we're here, we also might as well test Mid's myth. He asked, can you shut down the glider ability? So I'm going to do the glider once again. He's going to press the shutdown. Let's see if it cancels the ability. 3, 2, 1, and it does. Yo, so shutdown kind of has a use case now. Because you can cancel it if you do not have the glider and someone else is spamming it. That's good to know. That myth is also confirmed. Okay, so for the next myth, Zimbrick asked, in Legendary Block Dash, can you use the glider ability to set off the TNT in the map? This is a very good idea because you don't know when you're in the glider if it has the same effect on the TNT. So this is going to be a good thing to test. But unfortunately, we have to wait until the heart formation, so we'll cut it when we get there. Okay, here is TNT. Let's see if it sets it off. 3, 2, 1. Oh wait, it actually canceled it. Hold on. Okay, I think I messed that up, but it looked like it canceled my glider. I don't know if it blew up before I could take the glider out. Let's test it out again. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. So no, it does not cancel the glider, and you will just run right into it. And I'm not gonna lie, if you run into the TNT while gliding, I think it's an automatic kill because you have no control over your character. That myth is confirmed. You can set off the TNT. Okay, for the next myth, we are in our first race map. And Blookit asked, in Super Slide, would the glide help or hurt your time? Now, I feel like this answer is pretty obvious because of how slow the glider is. So if I were to go off the edge right here and then glide, look at how much, bro. Oh my god. This might be the worst possible emote you could ever use in the Super Slide map. I'm not even joking. And even if you use it right here at the boosters, this is how fast you go. Oh, wow. I think we might have the new worst emote ever to use in Super Slide. That is insane. This myth is 1000% busted. Oh my god, this might be... I can't even get over how bad this emote is. Let's just move into the next myth. Never use that ability in Super Slide ever. Okay, for the next myth, my good friend Shazil Gamer asked a crazy question. If this is confirmed, I am going to be shocked. He says, in Icy Heights, can you do the bumper mountain trick with the glider ability? So he's talking about the one where you go from that bouncer to that bouncer and then to the mountain up there. And the way to test it out is you want to jump right at the snowflake, and it doesn't even matter if you get the right send. I'm pretty sure this might work. So if I jump right when I land on it and then glide, oh my god, that is actually going to work. That is crazy. Okay, so that myth is confirmed. Now you can hit the bumper mountain trick with the glider ability 100% of the time. It wasn't even close to missing. Like, I'm going to make that very comfortably every single time. That is insane. Shout out to Shazil. That was a very good idea. And if you guys are enjoying the video so far, let's try and hit 1,000 likes for like the 3rd time ever. Okay, for the next myth, Filippo asked, can you get on top of the trees in Honey Drop? So this is one of the most OG tricks ever in the entire game. You could get on top of trees in Honey Drop. And wait, hold on. If we glide over to this tree, are we gonna be able to get on top of it? No way. No, we were just barely short of the tree. That sucks so bad. Maybe if we use an extra and then use another extra right now and then glide, it might work. Let's see. It does not work. That myth is 1000% busted. You cannot get on top of the trees, but that's a good thing because that would be broken if it worked. Okay, for the next myth, Nazmul has a great idea. He says, can you wrap around with the glider in block dash? Now, this is a very good idea because your hitbox seems to get thinner when you glide because you're not standing on the ground. You're in the air. So let's see if you can wrap around with the glider, but we need to time it perfectly. So we'll do it on this next block right here. I'm just going to run at the edge and then use the glider. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I do not know if that is going to work. We'll give it one more shot, then I'm going to decide if it is busted or confirmed. Okay, this is going to be my last attempt to try and wrap around, and we're going to try it the opposite way just by doing it right at the wall. So here we go. If I glide like that and then try and wrap around, yeah, that is 1000% busted. You'd rather just wrap around normally because it's so much harder to do while the glider's on your back. Okay, so for the next myth, someone asked what happened if you were to gust emote into the glider ability. Unfortunately, I don't have anybody to test that with, but it's the same exact thing in Tornado Temple. These are gust, but they're just way bigger than the normal gust. So we're going to test it out right now to see if it makes you go faster. Let's go to the end where the gusts are a little bit more flat. Okay, so here is the gust of wind. Let's see what happens. We're gonna go inside of it, and oh, it actually speeds you up. Wait, that's crazy. Okay, so let's do it again right here. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go into it, and it does. Bro, that is a crazy trick. Oh my god. If I'm in the middle right here, and I just want to glide into the wind, and then I can get sent up just like that, and then cancel it, use my dive, yeah, that myth is confirmed. The wind does speed you up in Tornado Temple. That is insane. Shout out to you. For the next myth, Ray asked a very good idea. He wanted to know if you get hit by a rock, would you go faster with the glider? But I even have a better myth in Space Race. What happens if you go through these teleporters with the glider ability? Let's see. 3, 2, 1, go. And oh, okay, so that makes you get the same exact speed, but once you leave blue portal, you get the glider effect, so it's easily faster. Let's try it again. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and I have the glider, and I'm gonna start flying after the fact. That is crazy. That myth is 1000% confirmed. You can glide after going into the blue teleporter in Space Race. Okay, for the next myth, Yaman asked, can you go to the gold statue in Shark Muda Triangle? Unfortunately, there is no gold statue in the game anymore, but I'm guessing the gold statue is over here, so let's try it out. But to just make it fair, I'm going to use an ice ramp first, and then another ice ramp, and then let's see if you can go over to the gold statue. Okay, so we're gliding over there right now. No way we land on this, right? Yeah, that's not gonna work. They're gonna think of that beforehand and make everything not have a hitbox, so that myth is busted. All right, the next myth, Sahat Gamer asked, can you do the old bot bash glitch where you stay on the pipes? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump out, glide onto the pipes. Okay, I completely missed. Wow. I need to glide a little bit later than that, and then we're gonna see if you can stay on the pipes with the glider ability. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. We're gonna glider, and oh my god. Wait, oh, it works to get onto the pipes, but you cannot stay on the pipes because once you land, the glider goes away. So there's no reason to even have it. Fortunately, that myth is also busted. Wow. Let's get it confirmed next time. Okay, the next myth is actually crazy. Frostboy Gamer is so smart, so he asked, can you do the old taunt skip in Super Water Park? If you guys do not know what the old taunt skip was, in Super Water Park, you could use taunt to skip the entire section of the map. And the trick is still possible with punch and other emotes, but it's very, very, very hard to time. And I feel like with the glider ability, it might be easier to time this trick if you do it with the glider. So let's see if this myth is confirmed or busted, and the area is in the temple ruin. Okay, here we go. This is where the taunt skip is. Let's see if this is busted or confirmed, and we're gonna glide. Oh, okay, I might have did it too late, but that right there was not right. Okay, I'm gonna use it a little bit earlier to see if this is gonna work. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, glide, and yeah, that, oh my god, that is insane. So if you guys look closely, the glider will not deploy until you turn around, which I find super cool. As you can see, it's not gonna deploy until I turn around, which is insane. So it stays on my back for some reason. I don't know what's causing it. It stays on the back, and then once I turn around, then I start getting that gliding effect, which is super cool. I've never seen anything like that with the gliding emote. Yeah. But that myth is confirmed, and shout out to Frostboy Gamer. I am 1000% going to use that in Super Water Park. All right, for the last myth in this video, before you start commenting that I did not choose your myth, there was literally 300 myths, and I do not have the time to choose every single one. I am so sorry. I hope I can choose at least one of your guys' myths one time, but for the final myth, so Nick asked, if we use this glide ability in block dash, and if we instantly jump and cancel it, can we stay on top of the block like we do with ball or jump? He means if we can jump and then just stay on top of the block without gliding right after. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump, immediately cancel it, and ooh, that's very hard to do. Hold on, I might get this. Let's try to get on this block. So I'm gonna jump, immediately cancel. Yes, you can. That is insane. No, that might be the best way to end it off. That is crazy because there's so many use cases for when you're on top of a block. That's where you can jump to the next formation ahead, which is insane, bro. This ability is literally killing the power jump ability, which I find kind of insane. But for the final myth, that one is confirmed. And shout out to Nick for that amazing idea. I really like that idea from you, bro. That is going to be the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please make sure to like and subscribe. And let me know which myth shocked you the most in this video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.